One of the easiest ways to improve yourself and your relationships is to draw a fine line between when to speak your mind and when to mind your speech. Intelligent Ledigence, dialing up from simple to nimble. Welcome to another episode of the PYI podcast, where we are all about being peaceable yet indomitable. Thank you for choosing to hang out with us. My name is Shalteq, and there is nothing that fulfills me more than when I help people across the world to restore and enjoy peace in their spiritual, social, and economic foundations. I am a speaker, a coach, a product designer, and an entrepreneur serving 2 startup companies, viz. Shalteq Innovations and Utamaradi Pictures. Within me resides the peace of God, because over me presides the God of peace. Now on to today's pearl. If you wish to improve any of your relationships, whether personal ones or professional ones, a great pearl is to draw a fine line between when to speak your mind and when to mind your speech. Now let me give you a story. So the other day, I'm hanging out with one of my mentors, as is our custom, because I believe there is power in being a protege if you want to be a prodigy. Pun intended. A story for another day. So my mentor gives me this story of how he had one day been invited to attend an exclusive meeting where he and his friend had the opportunity to meet the late Dr. Miles Monroe. Now, if you've never listened to Dr. Miles Monroe, you should totally check out his work, because he is the definition of legendary posthumous success. I mean, he has touched more lives after his demise than when he was alive. Yeah. Now, during the networking session, my mentor and his friend had an opportunity to get proximity to Dr. Miles Monroe, and this was like so mind-blowing. Now, here's where the story is. After exchanging pleasantries for a minute or two, my mentor threw a question to Miles Monroe. And before he was answered, Miles Monroe asked about their occupation. This is where it gets juicy. The friend to my mentor took the honors upon himself and gave a historical background of their lives, challenges and successes, starting from where they were born almost to where they'll be buried. So much so that by the time he kept quiet, Dr. Miles Monroe was time-barred and he needed to leave. In other words, they never got to receive even an iota of wisdom or make meaningful connection with the late great man of purpose. Here's the thing. I have one of my other mentors who always insists that when you're in the presence of great people, keep your gob shut, ask questions, and do more of listening. So yes, while our expressive guy may have had an interesting life story, the time, place, and presence did not warrant his storytelling. There is a time to speak your mind and a time to mind your speech. There are so many fights that may cease between you and your friends, spouse, boss, and even children, if you can perfect your timing on this one. Also, there are so many lessons you can learn from others or equally teach others. So many lessons when you know when to speak your mind and when to mind your speech, respectively. I hope you've learned the difference between when to speak your mind and when to mind your speech. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. For more inspiring and educative content like this, kindly follow me at Shalteq on all social media platforms. Also, do hit the subscribe button and notification bell to get alerts when I post more content like this. Be sure to share this with your friends and family to help them improve their lives as well. Lastly, please leave a comment on what you've learned or ask a question on what you would like to learn in other future episodes. From me, Shalteq, and our partners at Shalteq Innovations and Utamaradi Pictures, here you are, looking forward to seeing you grow to become peaceable yet indomitable.